Bible prophecy, Russia will unite with Europe. Introduction. Bible prophecy reveals that despite current tensions, Russia and Europe will ultimately unite. While this may seem improbable today, Scripture outlines a future alliance between these two powers, forming a force that will stand against the Jewish people in the latter days. This document will explore the key biblical prophecies that foretell this union and how the papacy, under the leadership of the next pope, will be instrumental in bringing Russia and Europe together. The alliance foretold in Ezekiel 38. Ezekiel 38 describes an invasion of Israel led by a coalition of nations in the last days. The prophecy lists several key players, including Gog of the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. Ezekiel 38 verse 2. Many biblical scholars identify Magog as referring to lands stretching from Central Europe to modern Russia. The term Rosh in verse 3, translated as chief prince, is often associated with the people of Rus, forebears of modern Russia. The passage also mentions Gomer and Togarma, Ezekiel 36. Gomer is often linked to regions of France and Germany, while Togarma is associated with areas in modern Turkey. The unifying factor among these nations is their shared opposition to Israel in the last days. This suggests a future alliance between Russia and Europe as part of a broader coalition against the Jewish people. The image in Daniel 2 and the Eastern Roman heritage of Russia. Daniel 2 provides another key prophecy concerning the alliance between Russia and Europe. Nebuchadnezzar's vision of a great statue represents successive world empires, with the legs of iron symbolizing the Roman Empire. However, in the latter days, the statue stands on feet composed of iron and clay, symbolizing a divided yet interconnected empire. Daniel 2:41-43. Historically, the Roman Empire was divided into the Western Roman Empire, centered in Rome, and the Eastern Roman Empire, based in Constantinople, modern Istanbul. After the fall of Constantinople in 1453, Russia inherited the religious and cultural legacy of the Byzantine, Eastern Roman Empire. Moscow became known as the Third Rome, maintaining the traditions of Eastern Orthodox Christianity and viewing itself as the successor to Byzantium. This historical connection suggests that Russia will align with Europe's remnants of the Western Roman Empire in the latter days, forming a renewed version of the Roman Empire's power. The feet of iron and clay in Daniel's vision symbolize this future alliance, where Russia, the Eastern Roman successor, and Europe, the Western Roman successor, will unite under a common purpose. The role of the papacy in uniting Russia and Europe. The next pope will play a central role in facilitating the union between Russia and Europe. The papacy has long sought to bridge the divide between Eastern Orthodoxy and Western Catholicism. Recent popes have made overtures to the Russian Orthodox Church, seeking to mend centuries of division. Revelation 16 verse 13-14 describes how unclean spirits will go out to deceive the nations and gather them for the final conflict. One of these spirits proceeds from the beast, representing Western Catholic Europe, while another comes from the dragon, symbolizing Eastern Orthodox Russia, the military force of the Eastern Roman Empire. The involvement of both symbols points to a reconciliation between Catholic Europe and Orthodox Russia, likely facilitated by the Vatican. Historically, the papacy has wielded immense influence over European politics, and the next pope will be crucial in orchestrating Russia's integration into a unified Europe. Whether through diplomacy, religious unity, or political maneuvering, the Vatican will serve as the bridge between these two historically divided powers. The anti-Semitic nature of this future alliance. Zechariah 14 verse 2 foretells that in the last days, nations will gather against Jerusalem, leading to a great conflict. This aligns with Ezekiel 38's description of a coalition attacking Israel. Given Europe's history of anti-Semitism and Russia's current geopolitical stance, this alliance will likely be driven by opposition to the Jewish state. Revelation 17 also depicts a political religious system that persecutes the saints and aligns itself with powerful nations. This Babylon the Great includes both Catholic and Orthodox elements, indicating that both Europe and Russia will be complicit in opposing Israel and God's people. Current events pointing toward this prophetic fulfillment. Although Russia and Europe are currently at odds over Ukraine, the growing divide between the United States and Europe is creating conditions that could push the European Union toward Russia. The U.S., represented by the Tarshish nations in Ezekiel 38:13, is depicted as standing apart from the coming confederacy. The increasing rift between the U.S. and Europe, exacerbated by policies of recent American administrations, could drive European nations to seek closer ties with Russia. Recent events suggest this shift may be underway. Europe's energy dependence on Russia remains a key factor in economic relations. The Vatican has continued to push for dialogue between Catholic and Orthodox leaders. Right-wing political movements in Europe are increasingly advocating for a more pragmatic relationship with Russia. Conclusion: Bible prophecy is clear. Despite current geopolitical tensions, Russia and Europe will ultimately unite. Ezekiel 38 and Daniel 2 reveal that these two powers, representing the divided remnants of the Roman Empire, will form an alliance in the latter days. The next pope will be the key figure in bringing Russia and Europe together, serving as the catalyst for this prophetic fulfillment. Though this alliance may seem unlikely today, Scripture assures us that it will come to pass. As the world moves closer to the final conflict foretold in prophecy, believers must remain watchful, recognizing the signs of the times and understanding the biblical framework that explains them.